Hi, it's Paddy Hirsch at Marketplace. So this week, China unpegged its currency from the US dollar, and a lot of people are asking us, what does this peg actually do? How does a peg actually work? So I'm thinking about currencies and pegs and things. I like to think along nautical lines. So I'd like you to join me and think about a yacht. Here's a yacht. It's going out on a sailing race. And usually when you go out on a sailing race, you go out to win, of course. But in this race, I've decided that I want to stay level with another yacht. I'm going to pick another yacht and I'm going to say, I'm going to hang out level with this yacht, stable level with this yacht for the whole duration of the race. I may move a little bit forward or a little bit back, but essentially I want to remain pretty much level. So here's the yacht I've picked. There's a chap in the back there. And here's my yacht, all right? And just because of perspective, it looks like I'm in front, but it's actually, I'm actually dead level. So here we are in my yacht. And my yacht's obviously slightly differently made to this yacht, so I've got to be careful about the weather, because I know that in some cases, he's going to be faster than me, or in some cases I'm going to be faster than him, and I'm going to have to compensate for that. So how do I do that? How do I slow myself down or speed myself up? Well, essentially what I do is I haul on the ropes in the boat, these things called the sheets. So if I'm falling behind, okay, I pull in hard on the ropes. Say I'm falling behind back here. I pull in hard on the ropes, and that tightens up the sails. What happens? It means I go shooting forward a lot faster, all right? And if I'm going too fast, like say I'm moving in front of him, what do? Well, I just do the reverse. I just let go of the rope, all right? It means that the sails sort of luff up a little bit, and it means that I then slow down, and slow down to where I need to be so that I stay level with this boat. So how does that, what does that have to do with currencies? Well, it's essentially the same thing. You have one country decides that it wants to peg its currency to another, so it says, I want to move at the same speed as this country in terms of currency. And the reason it does that is because it's the currency that it's pegging itself to is the currency of a large trading nation or one of its biggest trading partners. And what it wants to do is, there are obviously all sorts of variables in trade, but one of them is currency fluctuations. So in order to get some stability in your trade with this country, what you can do is you can just peg your currency so that the exchange rate is always going to be the same. And it takes out a lot of uncertainty in the dealings with that country and with when you're buying and selling in that country. So how do you do that? So that's why they do it. So how does it actually work? Well, it's kind of like pulling on this rope or letting go of the rope. Same thing happens. If you're slowing down, if your currency is becoming devalued, or say the price of your currency is falling in comparison to the country that you want to be to stay level with, what you do is you basically pull your currency out of the market. You decrease the amount of supply of your currency that's in the open market. And of course, we all know that supply and demand imbalance, that means that if there's less supply, it means that, that's right, the price is going to go up. So the price of your currency is going to rise in comparison to this other currency, and you're going to draw back level with it. How do you do that? Well, most countries, smart countries, have foreign reserves, currencies other than their own currency. Think that they'll maybe hold US dollars or euros or gold, and they'll spend that in order to buy that currency, to get their own currency out of the market, to bring them up, okay, level with the currency that they want to peg to. What happens if their currency becomes too expensive in comparison to the other currency? Like say they're moving too far ahead. Well, what they do is they let the rope go. All right, they let the rope out. They let more currency into the market. They sell their currency into the market. What happens? That means that because of the supply and demand imbalance, or supply and demand balance, as we know, when you've got too much supply or you've got oversupply, that's right, it brings the price of the currency back down, and it brings you level, okay, back level again with the currency that you wanted to be level with in the first place. So you can see the advantages of having like a currency peg for trade, but there of course is some rather big disadvantages. The biggest of which probably is that you are pegged to the fortunes of this economy once you've pegged your currency to it. So if this economy runs into trouble, so the winds of chance, say inflation goes up, or it succumbs to deflationary pressures, well, it means that you too are going to be dragged up or down by those same pressures. You're going to be buffeted around by the same forces that are beating on this economy. And of course that can, if it drags you all the way down, leave you and your crew very badly needing a drink. Look, Daddy, a fish.